Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today is the day 17 for our Fortigate firewall series. So today we are going to understand about VPN in Fortigate. So today's topic will be what is VPN, what are the types of VPN, what is main mode, what is aggressive mode, what is phase 1, what is phase 2, and also we'll see what exactly negotiates between phase 1 and phase 2. So all these are very important for interview questions, as well as whenever you are going to troubleshoot VPN, it will be mandatory or the understanding should be there. Okay, I'm not going to cover any practical today, so because I'll be covering in part 2. So today only we are going to understand how VPN works, what are the types and all those things. So I'll request you to please watch this video till the end so that you can understand it and you will be able to use it in your interviews or real-time troubleshooting. Okay, and also I'll request you to please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you never miss a video from me. So without any further delay, let's get started. Friends, now we'll understand what is VPN. Okay, the VPN stands for virtual private network. Okay, let's say you have two sites, site 1 and site 2. Okay, the first site is in US and the second site is in India basically. Okay, now the requirement is that you want to connect the private network, one private network, to another private network in site 2. Okay, as you know, this private network won't be routable towards the internet, right? It is not possible that it travels to internet and goes to other side. Okay, so VPN will help you to build a tunnel. Okay, from the traffic, it takes that particular traffic and sends that particular traffic to another site. How it is possible? It is possible because of VPN gateways, right? So what VPN gateway does is it creates a tunnel between two sites and then he sends that particular traffic from one site to another site. Now we'll try to understand that how exactly it does. Okay, before that we'll try to understand what are the types of VPN, how exactly is done. All those things will be coming, we will try to understand. Okay, so guys, we'll try to understand what are the types of VPN that is available and what Fortigate offers. So we'll try to understand with the help of these diagrams. So first is site to site VPN and another is remote VPN. So site to site VPN meaning that if I'm connecting one whole network or maybe a whole branch or maybe a whole site needs to connect to maybe a branch office or a headquarter office or data center. So a site, a network needs to connect to a network basically. In that case, that is called as site to site VPN. Okay, remote VPN for those who is traveling maybe from one location to another location or who is working from home as well. Okay, so they will be connecting, they are a single user, they will connect to VPN gateway and then they will try to access the resources of the company. So this is called as remote VPN. Okay, so no matter what kind of VPN you will be in, there it should be having two categories only. Okay, so this is what the Fortigate offers. Let's understand the other terms of VPN. Okay, so friends, now we'll understand what is main mode and what is aggressive mode. Okay, so before we understand the depth of aggressive mode and the main mode, we'll try understanding what is the need of it. Okay, so for an example, you have this VPN gateway and you have this VPN gateway and you want to build a VPN tunnel on internet. Okay, so the traffic will be going through the internet basically. So as this is internet, there are so many malwares, there is so many botnets are there, right? So we have to somehow secure this traffic, right? We have to build a secure tunnel so that I will be sending the traffic from our private network site 1 to site 2, right? So they need to negotiate. So what I'm trying to say is, the VPN gateway to another VPN gateway, there should be some kind of negotiation. Negotiation of what? Security parameters. So security, what does the security parameters means over here is, like what would be the encryption, what would be the hashing, how the data will be translated, everything they have to negotiate, right? So to negotiate, they are going to use main mode or aggressive mode. How they want to exchange those messages, the main mode and the aggressive mode says about that. Okay, now we'll proceed further and we'll understand what is encryption, what is hashing. We'll be understanding about that. Okay, now in main mode we have total 6 messages, right? In aggressive mode, okay, we have 3 messages total to exchange. Okay, now we'll try and understand in the next section very detailed how these messages are get translated, how they are going to negotiate it from one VPN gateway to another VPN gateway. Okay, it may be a Fortinet device, or it may be a Fortinet to Cisco, Fortinet to Palo Alto, Fortinet to Juniper, how they are going to communicate. Okay, but the main will play a role, because whatever the main mode, whatever the gateway 1 is supporting, it has to be the other gateway has to support the same mode. Otherwise they will not be able to exchange the security parameters, and they'll not be able to build a VPN tunnel, right? So we'll proceed further and we'll try to understand what those are and how, what is encryption, hashing and all those things. Okay, so friends, now we'll understand what is phase 1 and phase 2. Okay, now as we have understood why the main mode is required, why aggressive mode is required, what is the difference between both of them. Okay, so basically if a VPN gateway wants to build a side to side VPN with another VPN gateway, if they want to build a secure channel, they have to exchange some of the security parameters, right? What exactly those parameters are, we'll discuss it now, and then we are going to understand what is phase 1 and what is phase 2. Okay, fine. So let's say if I want to send any data from the internet, so what are the threats and how we can prevent that particular threat? So first is something called as encryption. Okay, the second is hashing, right? And the third is authentication. Okay, so in encryption, what will happen is your data will get modified in such a way that nobody can understand. So hello can be seen as encryption, something like this: 2512AZ13, something like this. Okay, so it's a encryption. So the words are getting translated, like it is getting modified in a different manner, so that if somebody takes your data also, they will not be able to understand what it is. Okay, now with those things we have something called as hashing. Okay, so let's say if I give you an example, let's say if I'm sending an hello word. Okay, so this word will be going through a machine which is called as hash engine, and we will get a number. Okay, something like this: ABZY1235, a long number will be there. Okay, and that number will be attached to this. Okay, during the transit, if somebody takes your data and modifies some of your information, like hello can become like how are you. Okay, now he modified the data and sent to gateway B. So in that case, what happens is the other will try, what it does is to verify whether the data has reached properly to me or not. It will also send that particular data to hash engine. Okay, now both the gateways are using same hashing functions, so they'll be going through the same algorithm. So if they get a different number, for an example, this is the number, and whatever words that the gateway 2 has received it, once he goes to that particular hashing machine, he generates a different number, 1 2 3 5 1 YZ, something like that. So in that case, if this is not matching, the data will be dropped, meaning that the gateway will understand that somebody has modified the data. So in that case, it will be not been accepted by the gateway, right? Now the third one is authentication. Authentication means the where I'm sending the data, I have to verify that particular gateway, then only I can send the data, something like that. So I can use a pre-shared key or I can use a certificate. So pre-shared key means, let's say I have configured a key something like key. Okay, so a key is Fortigate for an example. And here also, if I am configuring the same key over here as a Fortigate, then the key is matching and I can trust on it. Okay, and also with the help of certificate as well, I will be able to identify, and then I can send the data. So if you see, the data is getting modified, the data cannot be changed while transit, and also it provides the identity where I'm sending to. So this creates a security of that particular data, that when I'm sending the data from one private network to another private network, meaning that one gateway to another gateway, it ensures that on internet, if somebody modifies the data, or it provides security so that the data reaches to the gateway safely on internet. Okay, now as we have already talked about security parameters and what that does, now we need to understand phase 1 and phase 2. Okay, so basically phase 1 and phase 2, phase 1 you just try to understand for now. Phase 1 is only to exchange the key, whatever key that we are configuring it. Like let's say if I configure Fortinet, okay, here and Fortinet here. So to verify both of them that they are configured with Fortinet, the phase 1 is dedicated for. And there are so many processes also goes into phase 1. I'll talk about that. But for now, you guys understand the phase 1 is only dedicated for key, not for anything else. Okay. And the phase 2 is for data. This is how the negotiation also happens for phase 2 as well. Just try to understand that the phase 2 is nothing but it is for data, not for keys and all. All the keying material will be happening at the phase 1, and the data, the actual, when you're sending ICMP traffic, for an example, ping traffic. So you are sending an actual data. So once the phase 1 is up, then only the phase 2 negotiation happens. After that, the ping will go. Otherwise, the ping will not happen. So ping is going through phase 2, not through phase 1. Phase 1 is only dedicated for exchanging the key, verifying the authenticating the VPN gateway 1 to VPN gateway 2. Okay, now we'll understand what are the things will be there in phase 1 and phase 2. We'll do a deep analysis. Okay. So friends, now we'll do a deep analysis of phase 1 and phase 2 traffic. So what exactly a VPN gateway, let's say we have a site 1 and we have site 2. Okay, here we have Fortinet and here also we have Fortinet. Okay, now basically when they are building the site to site VPN, how the traffic will be negotiated, will be seeing in a very deep manner. Okay, and also I'll be telling about the Diffie-Hellman, how exactly it works. Okay, as well as PFS. Okay, so now If I talk about initiator or responder, okay, whoever initiates the traffic will become an initiator. Whoever responds to that particular traffic, that gateway will become responder always. Okay, so first of all, the proposals will be sent. So proposal meaning that the encryption, the DH value, the hashing, the authentication method, all this and few other informations are sent from the initiator to responder that I wanted to build a tunnel with you. Okay, so once it is received by the responder, he will check. So for an example, if I tell you about the encryption, there is something called as AES 128 256, something like this. In DH we have group 5, 12, 17, something like that. In hashing we have something called as MD5, SHA1, okay, SHA 500, 256, 512, something like that. And authentication we have something called as pre-shared key and certificate. So if that is configured over here, if that is matching, those algorithms are matching, then the responder will select that particular proposal and he sends that I've chosen this proposal, this is what is configured my side. Okay, and this will be basically unencrypted, so it is going in the plain text. When we do the packet capture in upcoming video, I'll show you, it will be in the clear text. Okay, now that what DH is only for exchanging the key. Okay, so what DH does, the DH is creates a private or public key. Okay, and also the responder will does the same thing. Okay, and public key. So I'm just giving you a overview. Okay, I'm not going in very deep calculation of how DH calculates, how algorithm works, all those things. I'm just telling you. So the initiator will share his public key. Okay, it reaches here. So the private key of responder, the public key of responder, as well as a public key of initiator. Okay, here the initiator private key, initiator public key, and responder public key. Okay, now this responder private key and the initiator public key and responder public key, they will mix and they will generate a number, something like that, a very huge number. But I'm telling you, let's say they generated 512 a key. Okay, same way they will take the responder private key and they will plus this public key of initiator and they will get the same number. Basically this is how the algorithm works. Now as the man in the middle, whoever is there, they will never get to know what is the key they have generated it. Okay, basically they will be generating 3 keys. I'm just telling you only one key, but they will be generating 3 keys. For an example, I'm just writing it down. Okay, now this first key will be used in 5th and 6th message. As you can see, it is encrypted. So with the help of these key, it will be encrypted. The second key will be used in phase 2. Okay, and the third key will be the future use. Okay, so it's very easy to understand. So first the proposal will be sent, second they will exchange the key and they will generate the key, and with the help of that particular key they will actually encrypt the 5th and 6th message. In 5th and 6th message, basically they will authenticate themselves. They will be using whatever pre-shared key that we have configured. Basically, let's say we have configured Fortigate over here or Fortinet over here. They will authenticate themselves that whatever the pre-shared key, you just match it. Okay, so if your keys are not correct at this phase, it will not come up. So you get to know when you do a debug if that is not this message is not getting exchanged, fifth and sixth, or if the fifth is sent and the sixth is not getting received in that case, or maybe if the sixth is coming with the wrong information, in that case your tunnel will never get established. Okay, so this is the summary of it. Now we'll go to phase 2. What exactly that is happening, we'll try to see. Okay, and this is for main mode. Okay, I'm not talking about aggressive mode. It is like obsolete. Aggressive mode never use. You'll never see an aggressive mode in any of the organization. So I'm not taking any of the explanation about the aggressive mode. It does the same thing. The only thing is, in aggressive mode, all the messages will get exchanged in a clear text. At least the message which is a pre-shared key will be encrypted, but in aggressive mode everything will be in clear text. Okay, now we'll move on to phase 2 and we'll try to understand. So as we understand the DH, in phase 2 how the PFS works, I'll explain you about that. Okay, so friends, the phase 2 only operates in quick mode. Okay, there is no other mode. But in phase 2 we have seen main mode and aggressive mode. I have explained the main mode only. Okay, so now we'll proceed further to phase 2. In phase 2 also we will be having encryption, hashing, and authentication, DH, everything will be there. Okay, so all these things will be happening over here as phase 2 as well. Okay, so proposal going, accepting the proposal, everything. So only 3 messages will be get exchanged between both of them. Okay, not more than that. Okay, now basically what happens is, when you turn on PFS, okay, again the DH will be happening and the data will go after that. Okay, if you're not choosing the PFS, as I told, 3 keys will be provided, like let's say 5112, 123, 4, 5, 6. Okay, first will be used for at 5th and 6th message, and the second key will be used in phase 2, and the third will be for future use, right? So the second key will be used in phase 2 if you are not turning on PFS. So you have to match. If the PFS is on over here, you have to make PFS on over here as well. I have seen a lot of cases wherein the PFS was on at the first place, but PFS was not there in the other gateway. In that case, the phase 1 will be completed, but phase 2 will not be able to complete with the PFS. Okay, so as we have seen, the same way there will be a proposal gone, and then DH exchange will be happening and the data will flow after that. Okay, so same way, this is how exactly they exchange, and this is only for the data. Okay, so whatever the key they are using it, okay, this is for the key data, not for key exchange. No, this is for data, how the data should be used, or the data should transfer from one gateway to another gateway. The key will be used for that. Fine. So as we have understand, the phase 1 only dedicated for key, exchanging the key, verifying the key, all those things. And after that, again the negotiation will be happening for the data, how we are going to send the data, whether the data has to be what algorithm we are going to use to encrypt it, hashing it, or authenticating it. So all these things will be happening at the phase 2 level. Okay, so all these things will be happening, and total 9 messages will be happening between the gateway. These are the messages, total 9 messages to complete phase 1 and phase 2. Okay, now we have IKE v1. So IKE v1, and we have something called as IKE v2 as well. So this is version 1, version 2. There is no much difference between both of them. They are going to do the same thing. The only is the messages in version 2 are less. When we cover IKE version 2 in Fortigate, I'll be covering those negotiations as well. Okay, there are so many terms as well. During the practical time, I will tell you about those things as well. It's a fundamental session. That is the reason I have not taken much things right now. I just build the fundamental of yours understanding about VPN, so that once we understand this, then only we can go into VPN and we can understand more things about it. Okay, so this is what I wanted to cover in this video. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you have learned something new, comment down below. If you have any suggestion for my video, you can send me an email, or you can comment in this video, or you can send me a message on Instagram or Facebook, wherever you want. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you never miss a video from me. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.